I mean, I'm really sad that you're not wearing your sparkly jacket, but
Next year, noted for next year.
oh, no, I feel like you can.
Not my goal.
Okay, great.
Let me hear. We live.
Thank you.
As the kids said.
Yeah, because right now you're cooked, right? Because you don't have it. Okay. Calling to order this special meeting for Diamond Lake School District 76. Roll call, please.
Ms. Bayless, here. Mr. Becker. Here. Ms. Crutchfield. Here. Ms. Hale.
Here.
Ms. Collins. Here. Ms. Reyes. Here. Ms. Sullivan. Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we now open the floor for public comments on agenda items, and that would be for the budget hearing this evening. Do we have any public comments? I'm guessing we do not. So now I will turn the floor over to Mr. Rogers to speak about the budget.
All right, thank you very much. So for the adopted budget hearing here, we're just going to go over the substantive changes that took place between the tentative budget a month ago and the adopted budget. So there's been just a few small changes that took place in regards to revenue. So there's mostly revolves around our grants and getting our final allocations there. Now I will just put a caveat that we just submitted our final expense reports for FY25. So there will be a little bit of rollover money that'll take place. But for the most part, with Title I and IDEA, our revenue went down by about $15,000, but that was offset by having Title II allocations released. So that was originally at zero. Those appropriations were released, and now we got about $25,000 there. And the other big revenue item was the FSCS grant. They did cover the entire portion of summer school salaries. So we got about $100,000 that are going to be coming in additional for that. So I kind of reduced a couple different areas and increased some of that additional grant revenue. So that's there's the only other possible change that may take place throughout this year that I'm not accounting for is we did apply for this the School Violence Prevention Program grant. We were awarded that in FY22. So if we do get that again, we asked for about $350,000 to update safety and security. So if we do get that, we'll take a look at possibly doing an amended budget throughout the year. Otherwise, CPPRT, that's the Corporate Personal Property Replacement Tax. I estimated we're going to get about half of that revenue, but they did announce that we were going to be getting just about the same that we got this year. So that's great. So we're going from about 108 to 180,000. And last, there's just some different allocations with our transportation fund once I filed our official transportation claim. So that claim takes into account expenditures that we had, a lot of student demographic information in terms of the number of routes that we run, and it does give us a percentage based on the amount we spend. So we're getting a little bit more for that. In terms of expenditures, we just had a little bit of positional movement from my tentative budget to adopted budget. Revolves around a little bit of some learning associate type salaries that are going to be moving around. So those were just relatively minor. And then for technology, I accounted for some additional revenue or additional expenditures that take place for a server project that we took place. Was that a server project we did? Yeah. So the rest of that money revolves around just some small changes regarding some food service equipment and substitute expenditures. So are there any questions regarding the budget? Pretty minor in terms of what we generally change from the tentative each year.
I do have a question.
Huh?
For the FSCS grant, that's supposed to run out of funding at the end of the year potentially. Is that right? Do we know if that's going to be funded beyond December?
Good know, they said sometime in September.
Okay.
Still don't have official word yet. The good news is they are still funding several other projects that are taking place this year. So they're funding a lot of field trips that are taking place before the end of the calendar year. And they are funding several after-school extracurricular activities again at Diamond Lake and West Oak Intermediate, along with the busing. So we're doing like,
Yes, sir.
yeah, there's Zumba and there's some Park District type events that are taking place. And in the end, we're just providing some supplemental, a lot of soccer that's taking place too.
That's nice.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay,
Thank you.
then we will move on to public comments and petitions on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comments or petitions on non-agenda items? Okay, then could I get a motion to adjourn from the budget hearing, please?
Second. Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Bayless? Yes. Ms. Crutchfield? Yes. Ms. Hale?
Yes.
Ms. Holland? Yes. Ms. Reyes?
Okay, that meeting is adjourned. We will now move on to our combined meeting for this evening. Ms. Bayless, let me know when you're ready. Okay, calling to order the combined meeting for Diamond Lake School District 76. Roll call, please.
Ms. Bayless? Here. Mr. Becker?
Here.
Ms. Crutchfield? Here. Ms. Hale?
Here.
Ms. Holland? Here. Ms. Reyes? Ms. Sullivan? Here.
We now open the floor for public comments on agenda items for the combined meeting. Do we have any public comments this evening? Okay, there being no public comments, we will move on to recognition.
Good evening. I am very honored to be up here this evening sharing some recognition to some very deserving individuals. To start, back in the summer as a Board of Education, you sat down to really look at how do we want to make sure that we are honoring and recognizing staff utilizing our Diamond Awards. Through that process, some changes were made, including expanding our Diamond Award recognition from staff to include recognition from parents and students in the community. And I'm really excited for September on behalf of the Board of Education to recognize someone based on multiple parent requests to recognize. I'm going to read some of the nomination information that was shared about the individual that is being recognized this evening. The first nomination from a parent came in and it said, "I am nominating Ruben from the custodial team. Beyond his duties, Ruben is always looking out for the well-being of every child. Whether it is letting a child know that their shoe is untied or making sure that all the learning spaces are clean, safe, and ready to go. Ruben's commitment makes each child feel cared for. He truly goes above and beyond. His pride in the school is contagious, and students see that. It teaches them respect, and not just for the building, but for each other. Through Ruben's constant care, positive presence, and unwavering kindness, he helps every student to be seen, safe, and supported." Another parent who submitted a nomination for Ruben said, "As a PTO parent that often needs assistance in the building, Ruben is always such a pleasure to work with, which is why I would like to nominate Ruben for the Diamond Award. He's dedicated and hardworking. I believe he goes above and beyond to ensure the school is clean, safe, and welcoming for students, staff, and visitors. He is also always helpful to us and takes tasks on before, during, or after the PTO events have concluded. He does a great job of making families feel included. For example, he knows me by name and takes the time to ask about my well-being. Diamond Lake School District 76 is lucky to have Ruben, and by nominating him, I would like to show my deep appreciation for everything he does." Another parent wrote in and said, "Ruben has gone above and beyond through being a step ahead of any needs that may arise at any events I have attended at the West Oak campus. He volunteers to assist in ways that go beyond his list of work duties. The Back to School Bash was the most recent event in which he asked, 'How could I help?' And when we witnessed anything that needed to be done, he would instantly jump in and take care of them without even being asked. He truly is an employee that shines, and his attitude is always positive and eager to see how he can contribute." Ruben, on behalf of every staff member, I think we would all like to recognize you for this Diamond Award. This is the first recognition that came in from our community, and I think our community sees exactly what we see every day in terms of the interaction, your commitment to making Diamond Lake a special place for everyone. So on behalf of the Board of Education, come on up. We would like to recognize you, Ruben, for this month's Diamond Award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, everybody.
You can go ahead and shake the board's hands. This is for you, Ruben. It's okay. standing applause well deserved, that's for sure. The second recognition we have for this evening, we are also honored to be able to recognize the new hires that are here as a part of the District 76 community. This year, we are honored to welcome 12 new individuals to our team. This is the first of what we hope is a long stretched career here in Diamond Lake 76. We are honored to have these 12 individuals, and it really was Dr. Cunningham who started looking for each and every one of you to fill these vacancies back in the winter. He was pillaging through lots of resumes, lots of application to find one more person like our absolute best that are already here and in our classrooms. As you can see from the quote that was up on the screen, it is the classroom teacher. It is the teachers in our classrooms and in the organization that absolutely make an impact on student achievement. So we are honored to have each and every one of you as part of the D76 family. On behalf of the board, we are going to welcome you. We have a nice little treat for you, something edible, because we need to fill your bellies. You are all working hard. I've been in all of your classrooms and see you working very diligently. So we've got something to fill your bellies. So your principal will come up. When they call your name, you can come up. We've got a little gift for you, and then you can go around and shake the hands of all the board members. First up is Mrs. Morley with DLS.
All right. We have from Diamond Lake, we have our school social worker or psychologist, Lourdes Ruiz. Come on up. Yeah, you go that way. Can I go? Next up is our art teacher. Our new to DLS art teacher is Abby Godak. Lourdes, come back over here. Not with us this evening is Madison Duco, our newest second grade teacher. And then also not with us is Deborah Wargaski. She's our new social worker at DLS. And next up, from WOWIS, Miss Natalie Clay.
On behalf of all of the WOWIS staff, students, and family, we just want to say thank you to our new teachers for all of their energy and enthusiasm and care for our students. So first up, I'd like to present Ashley Ahrens, a fifth grade teacher. Next up, we have Celeste Cortez, one of our fourth grade teachers. Eli Shramko couldn't be with us here tonight. He is actually a middle school cross country coach, and they had a cross country meet tonight, but he really wishes he could be here and says thank you. And then lastly, we have Dawn Washington, a fourth grade teacher at WOWIS. And next up, we have Mr. Peterson from West Oak Middle School.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to first say to all of our new teachers, if you guys don't like cake, please let me know. I will help you with that. But truly though, I'm very excited. Our interview process, we were highly selective this last spring, and really we are very encouraged and very excited to just to keep adding talent to our building, and just for the betterment of our school and our kids. So very excited to have these four amazing young people with us here tonight and for the school year. So first, our seventh grade math teacher, Jaylene Cirillo. Next, we have Emily Feingold Fisher. She's our new communication arts teacher. All right. Next here is our new special ed teacher, Miss Olivia Richardson, better known as Liv. And last but not least, our eighth grade ELA, English Language Arts teacher, Jocelyn Triplett.
It truly does take a team, and we're grateful to be adding to the team with such stellar talent. So thank you all for the work that you do each and every day. As we go into the rest of the board meeting, you are welcome to stick around for a riveting presentation on our 6-day enrollment. However, I do understand you do have to get up for school tomorrow, so we'll take a brief recess. Do you want to get a picture first with them, Mr. Hanson, or? Why don't you come on up, Mr. Hanson? We'll take a picture, and then you are welcome to head home if you'd like to for the evening. Or stick around, you decide.
That was her for liking high school.
She loves it.
Does she?
Yeah.
Good.
She's given the time of her life.
Really? What's her favorite thing? Just like,
She loves marching band. She joined class board. She loves class board.
what is this?
Class board. So they have like student council. Well, they have, yeah, they have student council and then they have class board. So class board like does like the dances and things
Okay.
like that. And so each class has their own. board. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yes, she's having fun doing it. Yeah. How's Ellie like it?
You know, still looking for her groove, I think.
It takes time, I feel like, you know?
Yeah.
And even though the group of kids from West Oak that went to Limelight is bigger, it's still not big compared to the other schools, you know,
Right.
there's so many other kids.
Oh, right, exactly. So, no, but she's good and she's in everything. She's like in.
That's what Harper said.
A
She
million
was
things.
doing like broadcasting at the football game or something, or like,
Yeah, she's doing like, yeah, broadcasting, student leadership.
Switch it over. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Show choir.
oh, very cool.
Just a whole bunch of stuff, so,
Very cool.
yeah.
Okay, we will now move on to the superintendent and administration report.
So apparently the 6-day enrollment was not riveting enough to keep the group around, but that is good. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This evening, I'm really excited to present to the Board of Education an update on our 6-day enrollment count. As we know, we continue to monitor the enrollment within the district. Just update you related to the numbers and where we are at the 6-day this school year. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Hanson. So you might be wondering, why does the 6-day in particular have significance related to it? It actually is how the state uses the formal student consensus census numbers to be able to determine what the student enrollment count is at any given school. It directly impacts the funding, and the funding to each school system is tied to the number of students that are enrolled by the 6-day. That's why we're aggressive to get families to register early. Sometimes they think to wait a little bit, but the earlier we know, it's easier to predict staffing, but particularly by that 6th day of enrollment, it's very significant for us in terms of funding from the state. It's also utilized for planning for future enrollment trends, staffing, resources, and then potential programming needs. It is not the be-all end-all. We know that students do come in and out, and we're a public education system. We welcome them whenever students are ready to enroll, but that 6-day count really has a significance of the funding that's impacted and comes in. It's a strong indicator too for us for long-term planning. This year, our 6th day of enrollment took place on August 25th. So as of August 25th, we had a total of 771 students and 139 total staff members. On this next slide, I just wanted to break down the number of sections that works out to be at any given grade level, as well as what our class size averages are. I will say across the state, Diamond Lake District 76 has an absolutely wonderful class average size. And I know our teachers are capitalizing on these opportunities with some decreased enrollment over the last couple of years to be able to really maximize instructional chances and opportunities to close gaps for students. So what you see up here, kindergarten through 5th grade, is the average class size at DLS and at WOAS. The 6th through 8 is a little bit harder to specifically nail down, obviously, because those students move across multiple periods throughout the day, but the average ratio in 6th grade through 8th grade is 1 student per 10 teachers. So or 1 teacher per 10 students. Well, that's quite
That'd be amazing.
The staff.
but we do have quite the staff. But as you look at this, as you look at it, at certain points in times, we do have 5 sections. At other point in times, we do have 4 sections. So it's something we're constantly monitoring. What I did want to include in the enrollment as well, the 6-day count, I wanted to include for you, not just what was projected. Diamond Lake District 76 has done 2 enrollment studies over the last 5 years. And the second study in particular, the one done in 2024, is really been most closely aligned to what we are seeing. So it was on point to do a second study because the one from 2020 was not as accurate as the 2024 one was. And I wanted you to see the projected last couple of years, the last 2 years, what was the projected, what was our actual? And as you look at these numbers, you're going to see that enrollment study was pretty closely matched to exactly what we saw coming in. So the white line is obviously the projected, the gray is the actual for 2023-24 school year. Then you move to the right, the 24-25, and one more column over this year, the 25 to 26. I mean, we're off by 5 students. That's pretty impressive to be able to be that close. And we might get those 5 additional students before the end of the year goes out. But what I did also want to include in the board's packet tonight is not just the current 6-day enrollment. I wanted to include the enrollment study numbers that are longstanding. The enrollment study went up through 2035, if I can see well enough. My eyes are not that good. 2034-35 school year. As you look throughout this to the 2030-2031, you're going to see the enrollment continues to decrease across each school year. 2030 is where it looks like we will kind of bottom out at 705. But then we continue to go back up on that upswing for the next few years that are corresponding. We will continue to monitor closely the enrollment study numbers every year, match to what our actual population is, and then we'll make staffing recommendations annually based on that. But again, I wanted you to have in front of you the most recent projected enrollment numbers going all the way through to 2035, which seems like it's so far away, but I guess it's not when you think about it. So you've got those numbers. At this time, I'm happy to answer any questions, myself or the team, any questions or any feedback the board might have on the enrollment study or the enrollment update.
I just had one quick question,
Mhm.
and I never thought to ask this in the past, but are our actual numbers based on the 6-day enrollment or the end of the year? In this, that are on these slides?
That's a great question. I believe all the numbers that we do have in here was based on what we gave to the state at the 6-day enrollment.
Okay,
I don't think our enrollment goes up significantly from start of year to end of year. I'll give you an example. This year, 6th grade had 16 students. Typically, our students stay in the system and stay in long-term. There's some fluidity, but not significant. And if they move out, they move in. But I will confirm that there wasn't a significant difference. But like 6th grade, we had 16 students enroll, and typically in 6th grade, we don't necessarily get 16 new students to the district. Typically, that isn't necessarily the case.
because I'm just wondering if the projected is supposed to be like a projected 6-day or a projected end of the year. Do you
That's a
know,
good
Eric?
question. Eric might know better than I do.
I mean, I don't know that it really matters, but it just like crossed my mind, like at what point are they measuring this?
Mostly comes from. I will look.
And if it's not clear in the enrollment study, we can probably reach out to the people who did this study just to ask them how they did that.
Comparing us to not Fremont because there's so much out there. You know, the numbers on the page that friends also been done. Hawthorne, 675.
I don't know off the top of my head. Fremont definitely know, but yeah, that I don't know necessarily what.
Fremont actually kind of has the same bell curve as us.
Okay,
Like it's like, gonna go down and then it's gonna come up and we be where, and this is like without
The
massive development
building.
going in. But
I mean, I'm thinking more landlocked. Mundelein.
Mundelein, I think, is still building though. Like 75 still is, I
They're
think the
still
village is
having
still
growth.
building.
what I will say is these enrollment studies, how they do them is based on the birth rates at the hospitals to project the next 5 years. So development of land is probably not significantly impacted in here unless they know already when they're doing the birth rate study that they're anticipating 300 additional homes coming in. But that's usually, it's the birth rate at the hospitals is how they do that in terms of what they're projecting. And I know I've shared with the board in previous conversations that the current housing market also impacts it. I don't think that some of the families will be moving out just based on where the market is sitting at that might have had homes that turned over. Again, that's hard to predict with birth rates specifically, but that's how most enrollment studies are conducted, and what they leverage is the birth rate at the local hospitals.
Yeah, and I did take a look. It is based on our 6-day enrollment numbers that we did provide them.
That's good.
And also, just the executive summary of their report talks about the primary factor causing the district's enrollment to decrease over the next 6 years is due to the outmigration and fertility rate below the replacement level. The
Okay.
enrollment's expected to increase mostly due to the new construction. So there is that chance that it increases quicker than their projection, just based on how fast the housing development fills up.
Did, Eric, when we did this in 2024, did 120 and 75 do it at the same time? Like,
They did do it in conjunction with us. We just didn't get their executive report. They
Okay.
sent it directly. But again, I can reach out to Kathy Johnson over at 120 and have her provide that information.
I think we would just be curious to see, because I mean, like, it's good to see that the numbers pick back up, but it is like the 705 number, if that's accurate, is really low compared to where the district's been in the last 20 years, so.
I agree.
But this is all really good data to have, and I'm glad that the 2024 report is as close as it is, because then we can, I mean, I feel like then the district can rely on that, a little bit for planning.
I agree. It was a great decision on the behalf of the board to do that study a second time, because I think the numbers were closer to 8 something was what was projected. And obviously that is not, it was like 865, 100 students off is significant for enrollment. So,
Yeah.
Any other questions or feedback? The next item on the superintendent administration report, in your packet, you do have a memo of information. I know annually the Board of Education does get an update on the summer school offering that did take place. You've got a summary that includes the number of students, number of staff. In particular, I know it was wildly successful again this year, as it has been in the past. Dr. Berger oversaw the summer school program, and you've got that information that really synthesizes it. We're happy to answer any questions, or if you've got any comments or suggestions, we're going to monitor and see. We were, the FSCSA grant was very beneficial for us in terms of the additional camps that we were able to offer. So we're going to continue to monitor where that grant sits to see if we can partner that up with the summer school and the after-school camp, because that seemed to be a big hit for families, for the students to be in for the full day. And then the last item I have on there, we did want to provide you with an update on the summer projects that took place. The Board of Education approved last year several projects, in particular in summer. Most of them were concluded in the summer. Mr. Rogers provided you with an update of a breakdown of the costs of all that, as well as some of those projects weren't able, we were looking for specific support to complete some of those projects within the timeline. I think some of them are going to be moved to like the winter break, but just wanted you to have an update on where those projects sit. You probably noticed the front office at the DLS is just about complete. We're still making some modifications, getting some soft seating in there for students outside the nurse's office, things like that. Mr. Rogers has been working closely with the front office, but we weren't sure how much room was going to, I don't think they were aware how much room was going to be necessarily in there, and wanted to make sure we ordered them after we had seen what that space looked like. So, but within your packet, we just wanted you to have an update on where those projects sat, and then what additional projects are still outstanding that we have on the docket. And that's all I have.
Great. Does anyone have any questions? Great, then we will move on to the business agenda for the evening. We have 3 items up for action. The first item up for action is the omnibus vote agenda. Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and or non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If anyone, board member, staff, administrator, or citizen wishes to have a separate vote on any item or items, that item or items will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Be it resolved that the Diamond Lake 76 Board of Education accepts and approves the omnibus vote agenda items A through D as listed. May I have a motion to approve, please?
Ms. Creel? Ms. Crutchfield? Oh, is that you? Oh, it was, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Sorry, Ms. Holland, yes. Ms. Bayless, yes. Mr. Becker? Yes. Ms. Crutchfield? Yes. Ms. Hale?
Yes,
Ms. Sullivan? Yes.
that motion is approved.
Yeah. I was looking at that, know what they sound like. No, can't, I gotta look and, okay, sorry.
The next item up for action is personnel. Be it resolved, the Diamond Lake 76 Board of Education accepts and approves the personnel items as depicted on the agenda. We have 2 new hires. May I have a motion to approve, please?
Second. Ms. Crutchfield? Yes. Ms. Holland? Yes. Ms. Bayless? Yes. Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Hale?
Yes.
Ms. Reyes? Ms. Sullivan? Yes.
That item is also approved. And then our last item for action is approving the 2025-2026 budget. Whereas the Diamond Lake 76 Board of Education, County of Lake, State of Illinois caused to be prepared in tentative form a budget, and the secretary of this board has made the same conveniently available to public inspection for at least 30 days prior to the final action thereon. And whereas a public hearing was held as to such budget on the 19th of August, 2025, notice of said hearing was given as required by law, and all other legal requirements have been complied with. Now therefore be it resolved by the Diamond Lake 76 Board of Education as follows. Section 1, that the fiscal year of the school district be and the same hereby is fixed and declared to be the beginning of July 1st, 2025 and ending on June 30th, 2026. Section 2, that the budget containing an estimate of amounts available in each fund separately and expenditures from each be and the same is hereby adopted as the budget of the school district for said fiscal year. May I have a motion to approve, please?
Mr. Becker? Ms. Holland? Oh, it was, sorry, I'm telling you guys, it's not good. Ms. Reyes? Yes, sorry. Ms. Bayless? Yes. Ms. Crutchfield? Yes. Ms. Hale?
Yes.
Ms. Holland? Yes. Ms. Sullivan? Yes.
And that is also approved. And just so you all know, there's, I have a budget form that I need you all just to sign by your name. So I'm going to just pass that around.
Can I use a pen?
Sure.
The goofiest pen.
It's from the orthodontist. Okay, that wraps up our business agenda. Moving on to board discussion. Do we have any items for board discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have one item for board discussion. So for everybody that's new, we, at the Triple I conference, we will send a representative to vote on the resolutions, and we don't have the resolutions yet. But we will probably have them for the next board meeting to start discussing them. And generally, we will come to a consensus for how the board would like to vote. And then we register someone to go and vote for us. And it's a very interesting process. So I don't know if there is someone that wants to do that. The vote is usually Saturday morning at like 10. I don't know if the schedule is out yet. So I don't know if there's depending on what the schedule is, there could be conflicts with some session you might like to do. It does take about 2 hours, depends on how contentious it is and if they pass things by a consent agenda. It is very interesting. And so I do think it's
Robert's rule.
yes, I do think it's a good opportunity for different people to go and just, see it. So I don't know if anyone is interested in doing that. And we can also wait until the next meeting to decide that, but then we would just have Hiram register you. And then when you would check in at the conference, you get like a badge with a ribbon on it. And then you are told like where to go and what to do. So I just wanted to kind of plant that seed out there. And then also just so when the schedule comes out, you can look and see like, hey, is there something I really want to go see, or do I want to see this? Sometimes it is kind of a spectacle. So
Was there last year? Legal procedural?
it is always.
Fighting. I thought it was really, so I mentioned you, I wouldn't mind doing it again, but none of you are able to do it, but it's very interesting.
You just kind of go on and say what our.
So I think you listen, you can comment, like, so what they do is they present the resolutions, you get to see what is going to be voted on. They do a consent agenda, so they could essentially try to pass all of them in one go. You can ask for them to be removed from the consent agenda, and usually at least 1 or 2 are. Then there are also resolutions that are appealed, so they aren't on that agenda and they need like, I believe it's 2/3 vote to then be put on the agenda. So you'll vote on that too. But basically we'll have kind of like a cheat sheet from the district about how we voted. And then people will get up and speak. So if, as we're looking at the resolutions, there's something the district feels passionate about and whoever is doing that would like to make a comment on behalf of the district, they can. They do cut you off and then, there's like a time limit and then also, and people will get up to the mic and make a motion to actually move on to vote because the discussion for some of them could go on for a long time. Yeah, it's very like 90s where you're like
Yeah.
clicking on a clicker but that, I will say that is an improvement. The first time I did it, it was just paper. So, but anyway, they do that voting and then now that it's not paper, they can actually tabulate what's happening. And so you'll get to see like what happens. They generally do, it's their board meeting, so you see kind of the board business. It's generally the introduction of their new board. And then sometimes they have like a couple, like a student speak, but it's very interesting and depending on what the resolutions are, we'll let you know how interesting it's going to be. Mhm. So anyway, I just wanted to put that on everybody's radar. Do we have anything else for board discussion?
So we're looking at Thursday, October 2nd for that. If anybody would like to join,
During the day, is that right?
So I emailed Sarah.
Thank you.
Who said I'd like to participate. Today. What do you? She'll get back. I don't know, the group or this email with evening hours. I think it's true.
So what is it, going from one building to the next?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not, or
Right.
to tour. So she said she'll get back to me, or maybe like, everybody.
Okay, so for the people that would be available October 2nd during the day, I guess let Erin know. And then,
Did they give you a time?
No, so they have the scheduled time on the 23rd, and that didn't necessarily work, because I've got to be in Springfield for new superintendent meeting that day, so we were gonna try and go in October. But if there's, I can reach out to Sarah too and just see about the evening. This Wednesday is the deadline to let them know about the September 23rd date. So she might be putting something out, coordinating some time.
that's Rosh Hashanah, right?
23rd.
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully they also have an evening time though
Yeah.
too, to accommodate the people that are interested. Right.
If people are that event, that's fine. I just was looking at that date.
You're up.
Closed.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Okay. Did anyone else have anything for board discussion? Oh, sure.
So. It looks like your session on Friday throughout the day, like a lot of those are.
Yes.
When do people typically go?
Right. Most of the time, people go to that opening session Friday late afternoon that I think is like 3 or 4 o'clock, the keynote. A lot of the earlier sessions are designed for like board secretary, new board members, like you can do some of the required education, things like that. A lot of them also require an additional fee, kind of like you mentioned. So generally, unless you want to do one of those sessions, most people go to the keynote. Also, obviously, because people work, like there are people that don't come until, after that on Friday or Saturday morning. Yeah. So it's kind of up to you and what works like best, with your schedule. No, the only ones you'd have to sign up for are the ones on on Friday, I'm sorry, because they require like an additional fee. And once they release the schedule, then you can pick like whatever you want to go to, and there is essentially in 2 or 3 of the hotels. And sometimes, you know, depending on the topics, if there's a bunch of topics at the same time that you think are beneficial to the board, sometimes we would like divide and conquer, like who, you know, who could go to what.
So anything scheduled for us Friday or Saturday?
Yes, reservations for dinner for both evenings, yes.
David likes to caravan. He's very kind to drive.
Do not like that.
Yeah, John. Yeah.
I drove him though.
I know. Once you joined the board, you took over that job, but John drove like the rest of us many times. It's also, I mean, you also can take the train, yeah. And then just Uber to the hotel, like that's not, a lot of people do that, so. Kind of whatever works the best. Same thing if like, a lot of times people don't stay through the Sunday session, because it's usually just the keynote and then like maybe one session, so sometimes people leave Saturday. Okay.
So.
The other thing to note is Saturday night, and they purposely do that, is the tree lighting ceremony in the city and all of this stuff. So it is like very, very difficult to leave the city unless you're going to do it much later.
It's hard to find.
It's hard to walk. It's, yeah, it's like very chaotic. Yeah.
Lots of energy.
That one year, we almost all got
Oh, really?
lost. It was
Oh
like,
my gosh, one year I almost got like
Crushed.
Crushed of that.
it was terrible. Well, like, I think we've learned from like, do not walk this direction.
Yeah.
Type deal.
Remember that one?
Will be released
One year
Okay.
Hiram did register everybody for hotel. They have actually done these.
Okay, cool.
They'll get an information about.
Cool. Does that, Emily, do you have any other questions, or does anyone else have any other questions? Anything we can answer for you? It's usually interesting, and hopefully the sessions will be good. It just really depends every year. You never know exactly like how relevant it's going to be. It is fascinating though, I will say, because sometimes I feel like we're in kind of like a bubble of this particular area or whatever, to hear from the people that are, you know, downstate and more rural areas and whatever. It's nice to see all the different perspectives and kind of hear the different issues that different districts are facing that we might not have considered, or, you know, kind of learn.
That's always.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Okay, moving on to FOIA requests, we had one. I have a question about that. For that kind of request, because that information is essentially on the website, do we actually have to send a list, or can we just say, please see this website?
That's a great question. That is often what a FOIA request is simplifying their ability to get the information in that way. Unless it's exhaustive, like there's a specific language we have to use, unless it's exhaustive for us to pull it, rather than just saying it's all available on the website, then we cannot deny
Okay,
access to it. Yeah. We can if it's exhaustive in terms of staffing needs to do that, but we have it readily available. so-
okay, okay. Okay. And then moving on to notices of communications, we have a bunch of stuff from CEDAW. Have we met since the last CEDAW meeting? Yes, right? Okay. And then we have the D76 highlights, which is the welcome back to school Diamond Edge, the moment of the month, and then the fact that the schools achieved Marzano reliability level 3, which is fantastic. Congratulations. Thank you all for the work on that. Is there anything else you want to point out about that?
No, that work continues though. That's all I'll say. The staff is still, they did significant work to achieve that level and they are continuing that work this year.
Awesome. Then we move on to public comments and petitions about non-agenda items. Since we've lost our audience, I do not believe we have any. Then for others, and I'll turn it over to Erin, there's a bunch of relevant dates there.
Yeah, just wanted everyone to have on their radar, the Mundelein High School Joint Feeder Meeting. I know we've got representatives, both Ms. Holland and Ms. Sullivan that are going to represent and to be there. We're going to host here in the Sparkle Center, which is great. I love when we can highlight a little bit of our own home for the feeder group. That'll be an opportunity for 2 board members and the superintendent to get together from those groups. Obviously, that's where significant opportunities of things that overlap that we can work in conjunction on. On October 7th, the Mundelein Joint Officials Meeting will take place. That includes the parks. The sheriff was there last time. All of our state legislators came. It was absolutely a wonderful opportunity to collaborate and get our efforts from a public standpoint to be working or rowing in the same direction, or to be able to advocate for specific needs that we have with our legislation and legislators in the room. That's in the morning on October 7th. The afternoon of October 7th, the Vernon Hills Joint Officials Meeting will take place as well. This will be the first time. I did say I kind of maybe push a little bit to get our Diamond Lake represented there. I think it's really important. We do have a significant population that does come from Vernon Hills, and just making sure, I don't know that we've been represented
Never.
before. Just making sure we're represented and a voice at the table for that opportunity too. And then on October 21st, I did want to just bring to the board's attention, we have several, I think all of the cabinet team will be out at conferences or recruitment fairs for recruiting staff for next school year. With that said, I did talk with Joy about potentially, with all those schedule conflicts, you'll be stuck just with me, but maybe potentially we can cancel that board meeting with the idea that on October 7th, we will do a combined meeting that includes the business. I know Mr. Rogers and I were talking through the bills and that, making sure that we align our ability to bring that forward to the board in enough time. And we feel like we can still do that without the October 21st meeting, unless there was objections or thoughts on, any of the board members.
No, no, I think that makes sense.
Maybe we can get a tour of Cedal that evening because we might be free. We'll see. We will cancel if we have consensus from the board, and then we can do public notice so that it is out there that we've canceled the meeting.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, that makes sense.
And then the only other 2 items, they're not necessarily listed there, but I did want to make you aware, you have black folders, Diamond Lake folders there. I think each month we'll be putting any of the handouts. I did want to let you know every board member does get VIP tickets to the Mundelein High School event, so you'll see that in your folder.
Which is so nice that they do that.
It is wonderful. That is a incredible opportunity to be able to do that and be a part of all the events that take place over at the high school. So you've got that in your folder. You've also got the information related to the Lake County IASB. They're making some adjustments from 2 members to 4 members on the director side. I believe it is, you'll see that handout in there. And then we just received this today. You'll see the handout, or maybe came late yesterday, from an attorney who is representing a group to rezone a small plot of land. Not to the degree that Fremont is probably seeing the expansion. I think it's the degree of like 3 home sites that are being converted from single family residence. They're trying to rezone to multifamily residence. What's specifically due or they're planning in terms of development, we do not know, but there is the planning meeting information for the planning and zoning meeting information in there if you so choose to attend or want to investigate a little bit more. It's right at the corner of Diamond Lake, and Hiram and I were doing the aerial views yesterday, it was late yesterday that we got this. We're doing the aerial views to see where that is, but it's about essentially 3 home site land that they're looking to do. So I know when you Google it, you can see it.
But if it's at Diamond right there by that little,
Yeah.
Or is it by where that car lot is, like the car lot and the,
It is not, it is zoned as residential, single family, and they're looking, but nothing's built on it. It's currently
Oh, okay.
empty. And they're looking to rezone it to multifamily.
be right, it could be right in that section where that like real estate sort of house is. There's like a real estate agency. It could be,
Oh.
it could be right over there. Like kind of Joy across from where you were talking about the new gas station and car wash, sort of,
Oh,
because if it's
Oh, yeah.
around 60, anything past that light would be then become 6083
right.
at that point, so it would have to be right before that.
It will not have a huge enrollment impact, that I will tell
No.
you, as I
We
looked at the
welcome-
land.
We welcome that.
We do welcome them. We would love that. But did want you to be aware that there is an opportunity for public comment and that the attorney is looking to do some rezoning. It's nice that they're doing some building on that land potentially. Just because it's rezoned does not mean it's a guarantee that the builders will build on that land. It's just the interest to potentially make that change. Just wanted the board to be aware of that.
Okay,
And Erin, just to double check, we should give these back.
Yep, you can take the content out and then
leave the-
you can leave them on the table and Hiram will grab them, and every month your content will be in there for the next meeting.
great, thank you.
Yeah.
And we do not have executive session tonight, so I think that wraps up our meeting. Does anyone, or could I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Yeah. Ms. Crutchfield? Yes. Ms. Howe? Yes. Ms. Bailey? Yes. Mr. Becker? Ms. Hale?
Yes, so it's the orthodontist. I get it. Okay, the motion is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. It's nice to see your faces.